The sound I thought was a truck approaching was only the desert lifting itself into a noisy ball and rolling along the 95. Through the front window of my gas station, I watched the sand turn the sky the color of a mangy camel. This was my 100 yards of highway. All of the world from behind my register. Even if the noise had been a truck after all, I wouldn't have had any fuel to offer it, as the tanks had been sucked empty 3 days earlier. I was still sitting behind my register because I didn't know what came next. For 2 years I had perched there on my padded stool, staring out at the distant mountains, listening for trucks. We had been driving home from Las Vegas when we came across the abandoned gas station a few miles south of Bonnie Claire, the ghost town Jellybean had us searching for. He had a whole list, and we'd been zigzagging between them on our way back to Fresno. Ghost towns being just the most recent of Jellybean's preoccupations. It had been Beanie Babies, then spelunking, thunder eggs, card counting, and now these ghost towns. Nevada's Bonnie Claire was the jewel, he had said. The glittering opal. He had taken us to Bodie, Cerro Gordo, and Malakoff Diggins, so when we eventually found the narrow road off the highway for Bonnie Claire, it was a real come-down. This was no evocative frontier town frozen in time. A lone wooden shack sat in an unhealthy lean against a bare expanse of earth. Across the road was a steel shell of what Jellybean swore was once a bustling mining operation. I felt nothing, but he had that shine in his eye before the dust had even settled. Back on the highway a few miles, we pulled up in front of the derelict, smashed-out husk of bullfrog gas, and Jellybean's shine became an all-consuming glaze, signaling one of his revelations. He'd recently flipped a house with his father, and it had been only a mild disaster, and so the guy was feeling flush. Plutocratic. By the end of that month, we'd bought the gas station and the lesser buildings of Bonnie Claire, and I'd given my notice at the coffee shop. I hadn't liked the job. My manager was a lech and the tips were lousy, but I worried, like I always did with these revelations. It would go bad. That wasn't in doubt, but I worried this time the damage might run deep. Our fluctuating savings fluctuated themselves into the toilet with this one, and I suspected it might be the very end. I let it happen, though. I guess because I was addicted to that spark in Jellybean's heart. Whatever gave life to these worst of ideas. I lusted after that enough to stay. I guess I envied it.